Okay.
because we need to just refine the process. So somebody registers, you get notification, I get notification. We
Mm-hmm.
follow up with an email,
Phone
not,
call.
or a phone call if we have their phone
Uh-huh.
number,
Mm-hmm.
and introduce yourself as the speaker coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
First thing we want from them is the bio, 50 words, a photograph, and they pay their registration to confirm their availability for the day.
Yes.
The other bits and pieces can follow.
Yes. Okay. So the question I have then is, before they've paid their registration, say they've been sitting on it for a while, should there be another reach out to them?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Because right now, the database of speakers, we didn't even get half of the people who had registered to come to this conference.
You didn't get half means what?
I mean, they were like 10. The database I'm going to send you, about
Okay.
10 of them showed up.
Okay. So should I reach out to them? Is there contact details on there?
There's emails. Unfortunately,
Okay.
when we created the form, there was no phone number. So I'm going to go back in and ask for a phone number. And what I'll do is I'm going to go through the spreadsheet and I'll highlight who was there.
Okay.
And then you can see who wasn't there. And do reach out to those who were there as well and say, look, Gertrude is coming back. You've had an
Yes.
amazing experience. Please share this with your friends.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we might as well go back to who was there on the day and
Yes.
get them to push it out through social media as well.
Yeah. And then try to include, because then I've gotten 2 emails or 3 since we've talked before that people are showing an interest, and you sent them the initial email.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering, is there any more that I didn't get, or is that
Yes,
it?
yes. There
Okay.
probably is more. There is more because I just got Deborah, the lady who was at the door. There were
Yes.
people who walked in at the last minute. I think there's about 6 or 10 people who are not in the database, but she
Okay.
did capture their email. So the spreadsheet I'm going to give you, there's going to be 2 spreadsheets. One from
Okay.
Deborah, the one that I got from Eventbrite,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can reconcile those.
Okay. Are you okay if I reach out to everyone and just see if they're interested? I mean,
Yes.
have you already done that?
No, no, no,
Okay.
I
All right.
haven't. So do
Then
reach
that's
out.
what I'll. Yes. And then
Awesome.
Jackie's in charge of doing the personal interviews. Once they've registered,
Yes,
then Jackie's going to do personal interviews, correct?
correct. Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Uh, so
Because
after registration, is there another email that comes out with the rest of the bits that they need to send in? Or is there somebody that follows them up with that?
so again, I think I'll rely on you for now, unless we can
Okay.
get another person to support you. Because
Mm-hmm.
the next thing we will need is it would be nice to curate a magazine with all of their stories at
Mm-hmm.
this conference. So 1,000-word article. And it has
Mm-hmm.
to be around a story that says who they are, or they could pick one particular story. I normally like it with 2 or 3 pictures, and I'll send you
Mm-hmm.
a small, maybe the first 10 pages of the first magazine that you can send to them.
Okay.
It's very graphics heavy, so I won't send the whole thing. It'll take too long to transmit.
So do you have somebody that will do the magazine?
Yeah, we've already
Okay.
created the first one, so we're
Oh,
creating
perfect.
the content for the next one.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I did
And
that
that's
through
what
my
you're going to show
publishing
me.
company. And
Okay,
what will
good.
be nice is if they, because people love to see themselves in a book or in a magazine.
Printed. Yes.
Exactly. And what we will try and do, because this is also part of our fundraising, encourage them to buy and sell copies of the magazine. I calculated with the anthology series, we're asking for 5 to 10,000 word story.
Okay.
And they get published in a book with 10 other women. And I'm
Okay.
personalizing the anthology, so it's very different. We make the front cover so it looks like it's their book. The
Mm-hmm.
first story is theirs, and then there's 9 other stories. So I'm interchanging 10 stories. So if we have 100 women at the event, we'll produce 10 books, but they will look like
Okay.
100 books. Does that make sense?
So if there's 100 women at the event, because there's going to be 100 stories in the book, is that right or no?
No. So there's 10 books
Oh, 10
with
books.
10 stories in each book.
Okay.
but I am branding every single book so it looks like it's that particular woman's story.
Oh, got it.
Get it? So the front
Okay.
cover is different. It
For
will be
each
your
person.
face, your
Okay.
story first, and 9 other stories.
And so what's the cost of that?
I'm not
To,
charging them anything. They just have to have it professionally edited.
okay.
If they don't have a
Okay.
professional editor, we will edit at $80 per 2,000 words.
Okay. And how do you know if they've had it professionally edited or not?
I have
If
software that can scan. I
okay.
can tell
Okay.
when something's not well done.
Okay, perfect.
And you see, what I'm doing with the anthology series is this, Eddie. I
Mm-hmm.
calculated that all the money I need to lift every conference is within the community. I ask every speaker to sell 100 copies of this book. The
Mm-hmm.
first 30 copies are for the conference. They're selling the book at $19.99. And if 100 women do this, we sell 3,000 copies per conference. At $19.99 gives us $60,000 per conference. That will pay for our venues, our food. It'll pay for the
Mm-hmm.
keynote speaker. It will cover all of the costs. So it's part of
Right.
the fundraiser. They're
That's
sharing
brilliant.
their story as part of the fundraiser. But the beautiful thing is the other 70 copies that they sell or any other copies going forwards,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be making $5 a copy.
Okay. So can I ask you how much time do you need to make that happen? So the conference is in October. What's the deadline to have the text in by?
If we got the text in, it takes us 2 weeks to finalize a book. If I have everything, we get the text in 2 weeks before the conference.
So 2 weeks to do it, and then let's put a date on when to get everything in if they're going to be part of the book.
Okay, so let's see. This is September, right?
August. We're in August.
Oh, sorry, August,
Just
and
started.
we're October. We said October
4th, I think, is it?
2014. Okay, it's now 23, 24, 25.
Okay.
We're aiming for 150 speakers this time.
150?
Plus 150.
Okay.
So if we could get everything in by, let's say, the 12th, Saturday, the 12th of October, they make the
Oh,
cut to
that's
do
good.
the anthology. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can we move it back a week? Because I feel like that's really close. What if we did
12th
it?
of October, 19th.
No, the other way. So it's not cutting it so close. Do you know what I mean? I don't have a calendar in front of me.
You're saying too close to the conference itself?
Yes. Yes. So if we give ourselves like an extra week there, so it's not so tight. I don't know. It's okay. I feel like that's really tight.
The 12th gives us 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. That's cutting it right down to the line, though, is what I'm saying. So if
Oh,
anything,
okay. All right, then let's say end of September.
okay, end of September is better.
Yeah, end of September. And if
So,
they do bring it in after, we'll still publish their story. But if they
yeah,
want to
yeah,
have the
we'll
book
just,
there, end of
yeah,
September. Okay, I see what you mean.
yeah, perfect. And so the other way of encouraging them to register now is to
Mhm.
get all that in to be part of this book. So that's
Yes.
another incentive to get it going.
Incentive. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought the conference was only 2 days, but you're saying is it 3 days then?
We're going to extend it to 3 days. I talked to Nathan about timing and dates.
Mhm.
And now that I have the sponsor, we could do a 3-day conference. We could
Okay.
include more women. Because
Okay.
what happened was we extended the time to 9 o'clock in the evening to
Mhm.
accommodate women who are working. So we
Mm.
could literally have a group of women who come and speak in the morning, a group who comes in the afternoon, in the evening, on all
Mhm.
3 days. So we have 6 different groups.
Yes.
So it just extends the pool of women who could be there on those days.
And is everybody getting 15 minutes? Is that the
Yes,
time?
that's the time.
And 15 minutes is going to run over an hour. So 15 minutes isn't going to give us, so it's going to run over an hour just because there's got to be time in between.
Yes, yes. So let's do a quick calculation. Where's my pen? So we can make sure that this is going to be doable. So if we were starting at 8,
Yeah.
we finish at, actually, let me show you the program. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Where do I have it program? This was the original program. You know, so many things never went according to plan, but I'll share my screen.
Okay, good.
Um, okay, so share screen. Where is it? And I'll email this to you so you can help me refine it as well. Share.
Because I also know because of the tight schedule that we weren't able to give or use the bios that people brought.
Yes. And the bios have to be very short.
Yeah, 50
They
words or
have to be
less, right?
50 words or less. They have to be short. They have to be to the point. I think
Yeah.
Hassan said that they gave them just volumes and volumes, and they didn't stick to the
Well,
brief.
the 50 words should be whatever 50 words they gave, but it's still going to run over. Let me look
Yeah.
at that.
Now tell me if you can see this. I can make it bigger.
No, I can zoom in, so I got it.
Okay. All
Okay,
right. So
7.
this was the idea. We register at 7.
Mm-hmm.
We have the opening address from 8 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Session 1 starts health and wellness.
Oh, so you had them all categorized. Okay.
Yes, yes. So we'd have a
Okay.
panel, because my idea, instead of people coming up one by one, that wastes time as well. My
Yeah.
original idea was they would be on stage already, sitting on 4 chairs, and they would
Oh,
each have a mic. So as soon as I would have spoken, hand over the next one, hand over the next one, hand over the next one. Then we'd have a little open forum of 10 minutes. So instead of people walking up to the stage, they could have been on stage already.
got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just didn't
And
see it. Yeah.
that was my intention, but people didn't get it, and there was so much confusion. I had to let go of some of my ideas. I've run conferences like this before.
Uh-huh.
The ones I did in New Mexico and in Grenada, that's how we did it. And it was so slick and
Well,
fast, and it gave the audience a chance to get engaged in the dialogue.
yeah, I think that's brilliant. So, how many speakers are you able to put in before break?
So if we were to do 4 to
Or
6 speakers,
before break?
because some people might want to just talk for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and we could do 4 who are doing 15 minutes, or we could
Mm-hmm.
do 3 who want to do 15 and 2 who want to do 5. We could work it out if somebody wants to speak in more than one category. But let's just say,
Okay.
for instance, we stick to 4 speakers per panel,
Yes.
15 minutes each. We
Mm-hmm.
finish at 10, then we've got a 10-minute Q&A session.
Yep.
Then we have a
Great.
tea break
Mm-hmm.
for 20 minutes. We go into session number 2 from 10:30 to 11.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. That doesn't look right.
5,
No, that should be
6.
10:30 to 11:30. Am I right? I might as well correct this as we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
10:30 to
And 11,
11:30,
you have to adjust the next one too.
and
It's
then
all, yeah.
11:30 to 11:40
Mm-hmm.
is our Q&A. 10 minutes.
Yep.
Then the next panel comes on from 11:40 to 12:40, correct?
For 1 hour, yes.
1 hour. Q&A session, 12:40 to 1 o'clock. Is that right?
Sorry, I'm figuring
I know,
something else out.
12:50. 12:50.
Yeah, 50.
12:50. And then lunch from 1
Lunch.
o'clock, correct?
Yeah,
1 to
correct.
2.
So you need, in order to keep this schedule tight, you really need a timer to keep everybody
Yes.
on track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be crucial.
Yeah, do you have somebody that's there as a timer?
We need to put that on that list that I put in the chat.
Yeah.
So
One
add
of us,
that in. Actually, let
we
me
could
do it now as we go through, because things slip. We need
right.
a timekeeper.
What I'm seeing in this schedule is that you're going to get 24 to 36 people on stage in that first day. Well, depends.
So we
No,
keep
'cause
going, then we can work
keep
out the
going.
exact figure.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock to 3 is the
Mhm.
next session, right? Yep.
Yep.
To
Yep.
3 p.m. Oops, I'll do the 1500 hours.
Mhm.
Okay, we have our speakers, then 1500 hours to 1510,
Mhm.
Q&A,
1510.
1510 to
1610.
1610.
Mhm.
Next session, 1610 to 1620,
Mhm.
Q&A, and oops,
You missed the 6. Yep.
yeah,
There you go.
then 1620 to 1720
Mhm.
session, 1720 to 1730
30. Mhm.
and 1730 to
How long is tea break?
20 minutes,
Okay.
1750. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
1750. Oops.
No,
1750. We
Mhm.
have a break for 20 minutes. So if it's 20 minutes, we come back at 1810. Is that right?
Where are we at? Sorry, I was doing something.
1750. Yeah, 1810 is 20-minute
Okay.
break. Correct? 1810 to 1910. We have a session. 1910
2010.
to 2010.
2020.
2020 Q&A.
Wait,
Then
open forum discussion with, sorry, I messed up. 1920, not 2020. It's
1920.
1920.
1920, then 1920, 1920, oops, to 2020,
Yep.
next session, then
2020 to 2040 or 2030.
2020 to 2030.
Mm-hmm.
We have that.
And
then
so 8:30 is dinner.
8:30 is dinner. So you see how I'd worked it out?
Yeah. So that's 48 if we got 6 people in for that hour, or 32 if we only get 4 people in.
So 32 over 3 days gives us what, 96?
96, yeah.
96 speakers, which I
Yeah.
think is good.
Yeah. So, and if we have, so how will you fill in though if you have room for more?
More speakers?
Yeah.
How can we
Like,
expand?
so we'll just stick with the 4 then is what we'll do instead of 6 on the panel on.
You see,
Because you
what we
said
could
summer,
do,
yeah.
what we could do is make it a 10-minute presentation.
Uh-huh.
Then that
And then
gives
how,
us 6 speakers per
yeah.
session.
And then that's 48 per day.
Okay, that's 48 per day. That's 120. What's 48 times 3?
154, 150,
154. Exactly.
150, something like that. So a little over 150
Yeah.
speakers. Okay.
The other idea I had, Eddie, just let me pick your brain on this. So we have the 3 breakout rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other idea I had was to use one of those breakout rooms, or maybe even 2, to record longer presentations and do the shorter ones on stage.
And what would the point of that be?
The point of that would be if we wanted to accommodate more speakers.
So it'd be online.
Yes, we could do the 15-minute presentations in a smaller room and
Mm-hmm.
the 5-minute presentations on stage.
Or 10-minute on stage.
Or 10-minute on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Then people are walking away with 2 videos, one of a short speech, one of a long speech. They might decide to talk on 2 different topics.
Uh-huh. So the only concern I'd have is the 15-minute ones. Again, you're going to run into time because it takes time in between each. And do you think everybody will do that 15? Because if they will, then you're going to run over. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think let's just stick to this formula for now.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
I think,
next time we do something when we've got a bigger venue,
yeah.
and we get breakout rooms that seat 150 to 200 people,
Mm-hmm.
then we could do something like that. I think for now, if we were to get the 10-minute presentations and get 6 people per hour,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we should be aiming for.
Yeah. And I also think that Jackie doing her breakout sessions with interviewing people was brilliant. I think if she can do that again, because then that's
Yes,
more footage for
for
audience.
the speakers. And one of
Yeah.
the things I'm wanting Jackie to do is she's going to create a group that meets in physical spaces going forwards, physical or online,
Uh-huh.
where people can get together once a week, practice their presentations, get some support,
Hmm.
each other going between now and then, because what I
Yes.
want to do is to introduce all of my coaching programs for speakers. So
Okay.
people could come and meet and watch a 30-minute video, go away, and then come back and present to the group based on what they've learned. Stuff like that. I want to not just coach people when they're on their own, but to have them
Mm-hmm.
supported and get feedback from others.
And is that like a Facebook Live or Facebook group, or what kind of group are you saying?
So
Online group?
I'm seeing 2 groups. One could be online, one could be offline.
Yeah.
Because the need for the physical meeting, to me, I think was the biggest benefit for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I know here in Vegas there are groups already that meet because I'm part of them. So
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, obviously it's worth more groups. I mean, I wouldn't stop myself from going to another group because the more practice you get, the better. So
Yes.
I would definitely support another group. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so before I forget, I wanted to ask you, the guy that did the video and the stills, what was his name and what was his contact details? Because I didn't get it while I was there.
Okay. So Trey,
Trey.
he's hired by me. So if you need anything, again, it's going through me. He's not working independently.
Okay.
So
Well, how much is it to get that video?
the video was what did we say? We said $200 for the videos,
Okay.
150 for photos. And the videos, you will get 2 videos. One is the full presentation, and he's going to edit that full presentation into a trailer, a teaser. He'll pull out the highlights of your speech and create a small little trailer that you can use on your website and marketing and promoting yourself as well.
That's super beneficial. So you get 2
Yes.
videos for 200?
You get 2 videos for the 200.
Okay. And so how do I I got all this stuff I got to find money for, but
I just send you an invoice and then you pay.
okay. So I don't want him to cut my stuff and throw it away. I'm going to buy that.
No, no, no. And that was the reason why we recorded everyone, because I knew some people were coming prepared, some weren't. I've had a lot of people approach us afterwards saying, oh, I didn't have money, but I really think it's worthwhile. So we have the content. Whenever you're ready, you just say, get my video, and he can pull it out. That's why we kept the video running throughout the conference. Yeah. Because again, for me, that's going to be a revenue stream for the conference.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Even for the, what do you call it? Let me just save this before I forget. Daily program. Even for the, hold on. I do too many things when I'm talking and then I forget.
I know, it's okay. You can do what you
program
need to do.
Q&A. And this will be really good for you to have. Because what I did is in this document, I answered a lot of the questions that had come up.
Oh, good. Yes.
Yeah. I answered frequently asked questions. What is the talk like? What categories can I speak in? Marketing.
You have to change that 15 to a 10 though, if it's going to only be a 10 of an offer for the minutes.
Yes. But I'll refine this.
Okay.
And even the price point for the attendees, we've reduced it. I had tried $199, bring a friend for $1. Then somebody said, make it $67 if you're single, $99 if you bring a friend, it's $100.
Okay.
So we kind of have a 2-for-1.
Are you happy with that?
I think for now, it's a penetration pricing point.
Yeah.
You have to give people something that is palatable, that they can consume.
Yes.
I think it's very doable.
Yes. Okay.
And then there's a checklist in here as well with a breakdown of the little goodies that we need from each of them.
Oh, perfect. I can have one for each speaker. Awesome.
Exactly. And so the spreadsheet, the Google Doc actually has all of this.
Okay.
So people are asked, have you submitted your 2-minute video? Have you given us your bio? Have you done your interview? So the checklist is literally that Google Doc spreadsheet. So we keep everything together.
And you are the one that has access to the Google Docs. So when somebody sends something in,
it goes in there.
Okay.
And I can make you get access to it as well.
Just so I know that who has already sent, so I can get on them for the other things that need to be sent.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll add your email. And then what else do we need? Explaining about the workshops.
Yes.
So we're going to limit the workshops. So let's say, for instance, we have we're starting at 8, we're finishing at 9. So we literally have an 8-hour day because we take away the 1-hour opening and closing session. So in 8 hours, we can have 8 people run a workshop. And
so they're an hour each?
The workshops are an hour each.
Okay.
And if we do the workshops over 3 days, what did I say?
What did you
12 hours. We could have 36 people run a workshop during the conference. Is that right?
Well, and the reality though is, do you think that people will run during lunch? Because you've backed it all in there. So you're not allowing people to eat. I mean, I know that the person that's running, do you think that they'll want to run a workshop during times that is eating? And that's the only thing I'm thinking.
Okay, we could take out an hour. What I'm trying to do though is to find a way to pay the speakers and to pay the vendors. In fact, I might limit the workshop time to people who buy a booth.
to say that again? I'm sorry, you cut out.
So remember we had a room that had the people who had their tables?
Yes.
They paid $250 for those booths. That's another revenue stream for the conference.
Yes.
And I'm thinking maybe I limit the workshop space to people who have bought booths.
Okay, so they kind of make their money back? Is
They
that what
make
you're
their money
thinking?
back, yeah, because my original idea, as this conference evolves and we have a bigger community, I do
Mhm.
a conference in New York that runs very similar way. We don't get paid to speak, but I make about $10,000 to $15,000 at that conference. My workshops got so popular that they charge the people $35 to
Mhm.
come to a workshop. The speaker gets 25, the conference gets 10.
Mm. Mhm.
And they normally have a room that seats 50 to 100 people.
Mhm.
If we fill that room with 100 people, you're making $2,500 per workshop. Just this is now in theory, the bigger conferences I've done.
Right.
But
Right.
that room seats 80. Those rooms, the way we had arranged the chairs, we could have 80 people in those two rooms
Per room or 80 combined?
per room.
Okay.
We can have 80 per room.
Okay. That's assuming that the room is full.
That's assuming that the room is full, exactly. But what it does with this conference that I do is it pushed me to market and promote the conference to bring people there.
Right, because you're making money.
Because I'm making money. So if
Yep.
each of the conference, the workshop people who are running the workshops is to reach out to their community, to their networks through Facebook. I'm at this conference in Las Vegas. This is what I'll be teaching. It's just drawing more people to the conference.
Yep.
And it also means that people are coming to a conference that gives them tangible how-tos.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
it's a woman who's going through a divorce and there's a workshop facilitator who's focused on divorce, it could be a woman who's helping women transition and go into retirement. I had
Mhm.
women who were running a financial literacy for women. It was like a financial planner came to one of my conferences, and that's what she was focused on. But if women know that they're coming to a conference where they're not just listening to speakers, they're not just speaking themselves,
Mhm.
people who are in the audience could just come to go to a workshop on
Yeah.
financial literacy for women. You know what I mean? It
Yes,
just
I do.
adds another layer and another dimension to the conference.
Yeah, I agree. Also, so as a participant, sorry, as a attendee, and say somebody's not speaking and they just want to come to partake and say take the workshop, is there an entrance fee?
So this is where we have to make the decision, because we're not going to be able to police who goes in and out of the room where people are
Yeah.
speaking. And I
Yes.
think if they have paid to come to a workshop, let them come in and listen as well. I
Okay,
don't
good.
think it's going to make that much of a difference.
No, I
If
agree.
anything, it will encourage them to speak on stage for the next one.
Yes, and it'll encourage them too to bring friends if they want to come in for the workshop if they don't have to pay to get in. So I agree
Exactly.
with that. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Good,
we've
good,
got
good.
to give to get, right?
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
open, Eddie, with all of this. Nothing is set in stone.
Okay,
All
good.
of the women who are stepping forward and helping and facilitating, I believe we're co-creating this together. I
Mm-hmm.
have ideas, yes, but nothing is set in stone. So the
Okay.
more input, the more ideas you throw into the pot, the better a stew we're going to make than just
Yes.
going with my recipe, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yes. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now for a speaker to get on stage at the conference, what is their registration fee?
175.
Okay.
And
And
that
then
175 will cover the cocktail party, it will cover their lunches, and it will cover their dinners.
okay, good, because I want to highlight what they get for this.
Yeah, yeah.
Um and then 250 for the breakout room to showcase their business or book or whatever they are doing.
So they're
Vendor
coming online as a vendor
uh-huh.
at 250.
Okay.
They will have a booth at the conference and they can get to run a 1-hour workshop.
And if they want to do the workshop, they have to sell tickets. Is that, or, so they get the 1 hour workshop as a vendor, and then
Yes.
they sell tickets at $35.
So this is where I need to make that decision. Do they sell the tickets or do we?
Can both?
Both could, but yeah,
What do you,
so it's just the control of who's getting the money in.
oh, I got it.
Because the worst thing
But
I would hate is for somebody to pay someone who doesn't then show up, then it comes back
yeah,
to us. So we would give them a link to promote their
yes,
conference. We would collect
yes,
the money. If anything goes
yes,
wrong, I can refund people.
yes, yes. I think that's how it should happen.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'd encourage them
Okay.
to help sell the tickets as well.
Okay. Perfect. All right. I think you answered a lot of my questions. At least it's clear in my head.
I
And I'm glad
know, I know. And it was so challenging, again, trying to get everybody online at the same time. That's why I thought
yeah.
maybe what I should do while I'm here in Prague, I have more downtime, is I just leave my link on open. People can just
Oh,
pop in and out. I'll just announce in the group that I'm online. Everybody, if anybody wants to connect, you just jump on
yeah.
the thing and we can talk. I'll
But I
just keep
think
it
too,
open.
since you've recorded this, go ahead and post it and have
Yes,
them, if they can, have a look, because it might answer some of their questions already. And
exactly.
you've sent me the spreadsheet that we were just looking at, did you? Or
No,
no?
no, no. So I'm going to
Okay.
go through the spreadsheet and I'm going to highlight the people
Oh
who were
yeah.
there. So there's two
Yes.
spreadsheets. I'll highlight the people who were there, then you can see who wasn't and see if we can reach out to them.
Yes. And then the program schedule too.
Yes,
You'll send that.
I'm going to send
Yes.
that to you. Uh-huh.
Okay. Perfect.